This large painting is about a book, the last book in the Bible, the book of Revelation. The book is written by John, who gets visions from God that he has to write down for us. The painting is painted on 3 panels, a large one in the middle and 2 side panels, doors that can be closed. This is called a triptych. There is an important reason for making a large painting of a book. You don't need to turn the pages to see where things are. So when the book is quite difficult to read and you keep losing your way, here is an overview of the book. It starts on the bottom left and finishes at the top right-hand corner. The bits in heaven are in the top of the painting and the rest is in the middle and bottom. The word revelation means that God shows us something that is hidden. The book of Revelation is also sometimes called the Apocalypse, a Greek word which means literally taking the lid off. God opens, as it were, the lid of a treasure chest, and we find jewels bigger than any we've ever seen, but also horrible things that we never thought would happen. Spectacular natural disasters with huge hailstorms, thunder and lightning, colossal earthquakes, but also, and this is a surprise, God shows us where he lives by opening a door into the heavens that are filled with powerful creatures made of light, angels that work for him. And God also shows us the end of the world, a beautiful world that gets destroyed because of a dragon. You can probably spot the dragon immediately, even from a distance. He seems to dominate half the painting with his red scaly skin and his 7 heads. When my grandson Bart, then aged 4, saw the triptych in my studio, he stopped and stared at the dragon in the right-hand bottom. "Annelies, what is the dragon doing there?" "Oh, he's been caught by the angel of the abyss and put in prison." "There is a big chain," Bart said. "It is a very, very nasty dragon, but the angel has tied him up really well and he has to stay there for 1,000 years. I show Bart where the story of the dragon starts, chapter 12 in the book. He stands on a stool so that he can see better. The story of the dragon starts here. He is looking at that woman who is going to have a baby. Bart counts the heads. There are 7 heads, more than any dragons he knows about, so my dragon is very impressive. Heads with crowns and 10 horns, and the dragon is crouching down waiting for the baby to be born. He wants to eat the baby, but when the baby is born, it is snatched up to heaven, and the dragon is really annoyed because the woman has gone as well and she is hiding. And then the angel Michael and his army of angels fight against the dragon and his angels, and they win and throw the dragon out of heaven. We follow the fall of the dragon and find where he hits the earth behind the wall. Then he finds the woman and he chases her. He opens his mouth and water pours out of it like a river, and the woman could drown, but she is given wings of an eagle so she can fly away, and also the earth opens its mouth and swallows the river. Now the dragon is seriously angry, and he decides to make war on the woman's children and their children and their children. "Where has the dragon gone?" Bart asks. We follow the red scaly skin of the dragon snaking downwards. There he is, on the beach. "The sea is full of plastic, Annelies," Bart says. Unknowingly, he has put his finger on the reason why the earth will be destroyed. As the book explains, after the 7th trumpet has sounded, loud voices are heard in heaven, raised in a worship to God that ends with this terrible sentence: "The time has come for destroying those who destroy the earth." Despite the plastic, Bart looks at the sea and can't believe his luck. There's not just a dragon with 7 heads, but also a beast with 7 heads that comes out of the polluted sea, and a beast that comes out of the earth, which has 2 horns like a lamb and speaks like a dragon. We follow the snakeskin wriggling round Babylon Square and through the gate to the throne of the beast that is being plunged into darkness by the 5th angel with a bowl. To the dragon's head and the beast of the sea's head and the beast of the earth's head, all with frogs coming out of their mouths. Bart listens with open mouth. And then they all go to a place called Armageddon and fight the rider on the white horse, but the beasts are caught and thrown in the lake of sulphur and fire. Bart is very taken by this and gives me a small lecture on volcanoes and lava. And that is when the dragon gets caught and has to stay in the abyss. But for some reason he is let out again. He tries to fight again. He raises an enormous army and they surround a lovely city. But God sends fire from heaven and the whole army gets eaten by the fire and the dragon gets thrown into the lake of burning sulphur, and that is the end of him. Bart looks pleased and disappointed at the same time. I so understand. The end of the dragon should have been much longer. It is strange how we like to see the body coming to a sticky end. And when the end is so short, only a few sentences, we feel that justice hasn't been done satisfactorily. I feel the same when I read about Armageddon. This is the great war. This is the confrontation between the dragon, the 2 beasts, and the white rider on the white horse, whose cloak is dipped in blood and who has many crowns on his head. There is no description of the great capture. It says that the 2 beasts are captured and thrown in the lake of sulphur. The war is won with a double-edged sword that comes out of the mouth of the rider. The war is won with words, the word that is mightier than all the swords in the world. And then it dawns on me, the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning God spoke, "Let there be light," and there was light. God created the heavens, and they were full of light. Then God created the earth, and the crown on his creation were a man and a woman, made in his own image. And he loved them more than anything else. But one magnificent heavenly being, so full of light, felt the shadow of jealousy. With the creation of man, the heavens lost their luster and charm for Satan, the snake, the dragon. It is not so easy to spot the Lamb. The Lamb is a bit of a mystery. He first appears in the middle of the throne of God. You can hardly see him past the creatures with their wings and the eyes on their wings that move around God. But there he is, in the center of the throne, on God's lap in the folds of his clothes, a lamb as if he was slaughtered. This is our hero, a lamb. Not your everyday lamb, though. The description goes on. He has 7 horns, that means that he's completely powerful, and he has 7 eyes, meaning that he sees everything. He may not be a red scaly lamb with 7 heads, but then he doesn't need to impress. In God's right hand is a book, a scroll with 7 seals. Nobody can open the book except the Lamb. We won't know what will happen to the world if the scroll isn't opened. The Lamb takes the scroll from the hand of God, and the winged creatures and the elders, God's ancient friends, fall down before the Lamb and worship him. And they sing a new song. Can you imagine? A new song. And then the angels join in, not just a few, but thousands and thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000 angels join in one large choir. And that is not where it stops. Every creature in heaven joins in. Apparently there are lots of creatures in heaven as well, apart from the creatures round the throne. And then every creature on earth joins in. That means also the ladybird and the baby hippopotamus and even the moustached puff bird and the blue-footed booby, the tasseled wobbegong and the chicken turtle. They all sing. The sea is full of songs as well. The whale sings on top of her voice. The pufferfish blows himself up and joins in with a bubbly song. A smack of jellyfish warbles along. From under the earth, a humming becomes louder and louder to join the song of the whole creation. Creatures under the earth are joining in, all praising this lamb. What sort of lamb is this? A lamb that was slaughtered, but here he is alive. He won the battle with death. He is the most powerful being on earth and also in heaven. He rules everything, every creature, every king. One lamb to rule them all. By now we understand that the lamb doesn't just have 7 horns and 7 eyes. He comes in different shapes and with different names. He is everywhere in the book, but somehow in the background. He acts calmly, without a fuss, without a fanfare, without forcing everyone to kneel down before him, without forcing everyone to praise him. But the whole of creation does this anyway, out of their own free will and with enthusiasm. The Lamb opens the seals, one after the other. The scroll is unrolled in front of our eyes by this Lamb. What is not to like? What is not to like is what we read in the scroll. The history of the world unrolls before us. When the first 4 seals of the scroll are opened, the horses of the apocalypse come galloping out. There is nothing glamorous about them. They mean war, destruction, and death. The people who die in these wars start their journey through the heavens, while the earth goes through an incredible earthquake, with the sun going black, the moon blood red, with the stars falling out of the heavens and the sky rolling up like a scroll. For many, the end of the world has already come. In heaven, the saints come together with palm branches. They sing and dance and wonder at their splendid surroundings and the thousands of angels, and they warm themselves in the presence of God, who will wipe away every tear from their eyes. When the 7th seal opens, there is silence in the heavens, the silence before the storm. This small space in the painting with nothing in it is the silence. But before all hell breaks loose, we are given protection. In the top left-hand corner, we look down on one of the 4 angels who are commanded to hold back the winds of evil until God's children are safe. That is, safe from the evil that will come over the world. The people are given a seal by an angel from the east that will protect them and shine light on the dark path they may have to take. We don't know what shape this seal has, but they carry that seal with them on their journey through life. 7 angels are called to blow their trumpets to warn the world. 6 blow their trumpet and amazing things happen. You would think that people will wonder what is going on, but they don't. They carry on as they did before. And then, when the 7th trumpet blows, it is too late. God will destroy the destroyers of the world. After the dragon is thrown out of heaven, we see how he builds his city of slaves, Babylon. Babylon is like an evil woman who lusts after luxury and wants too much of everything. Soon the earth will be covered by the dragon's army of dark and evil spirits. 7 different angels, now with bowls, start pouring plagues over Babylon's world. When the 7th bowl is emptied up into the heaven, an enormous eruption takes place. The biggest earthquake the world has ever seen splits Babylon in 3 parts, and hailstones of 50 kilos hit the city and the people in her. Babylon is destroyed. All the people who traded with her mourn her from a distance. Woe, 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 Babylon, the book says. In one day you have been destroyed. You who rode the 7-headed scarlet beast. You who were dressed in purple and scarlet silk, and who drank the blood of your victims from your golden goblet. You who traded in gold and pearls and precious stones, in wine and oil and lemon wood, in flocks and horses and vehicles, and in the souls of men. The Lamb is standing on Mount Zion, a safe place close to the heavens. Around him stand the people who have been given a seal. Their song is echoed in heaven. It sounds like the roar of rushing waters and rolling thunder, and at the same time like the sound of harpists playing. The people are singing another new song. Soon the whole world will be harvested and brought before the throne of God, where there will be a last judgment. The Lamb is the same as the man who walks among the lamps. He is the man on the cloud who has the sickle to harvest the world. He is the rider on the white horse who goes to the battle at Armageddon. He is also the bridegroom waiting for his bride. We are invited to the wedding feast of the Lamb who is the Son of God. He is waiting for us, his people, his church, his bride, to join him in a new home he has made for us in the new city. A city that is the last surprise in the book. The city is a cube. We can stop thinking outside the box. This tops it all. The cube is as long as from here to Naples, about 2,200 kilometers, and as wide as from here to Naples, and as high as from here to Naples. You can see a corner of the cube coming down from under the tree in the top right-hand corner. It comes down from a new heaven to a new earth. It is made from transparent gold with a high wall and 12 gates in it, each gate made from a single pearl. Here are the pearly gates, welcoming us in. Here is our treasure chest, sparkling in the light that comes from God and his Son, the Lamb, a happy sight. We can cool our feet in the river of life that runs through the main street in the city. We can pick the fruit from the tree of life that grows on both sides of the river, a tree that produces fruit every month. We can wonder for the rest of our lives, our eternal lives, about the absolute marvels around us, just because we followed the Lamb and kept our little lights shining. Take your time to listen to this prophecy and take it to heart and let it sink in. It will prepare you for the darker days that are coming. It will shine a light in your heart and in your mind, and it will throw light on the path you are taking. And you can spread some light around you. This prophecy will make you happy against all odds.